Even the nurses are like, what the heck? So right now I am in the hospital because I fell down the stairs. And yeah, I'm hearing people in labor and I can't help but laughing. So I am home from the hospital. I got home around 1:30 last night, and yeah, I am just on bed rest. So I'll explain what happened. So on the 31st of January, around 9 o'clock, I had fallen down the stairs. There's 7 stairs and I fell down. All of them, they were carpeted. It happened so fast, so I'm just assuming I was too on the edge with just my heel, and I just slipped backwards and I landed on my back. And then I honestly didn't think anything of it because Elsie was moving like afterwards as it happened, even when I was cramping and getting Braxton hits, and all throughout the night and all through the morning. And so I made like a little story time Facebook post, and then people were like, oh, you should really get checked out. And so people got me nervous, and so I called my OB-GYN's office, and she actually said, yeah, I should be going to labor and delivery because I'm over 20 weeks. And so I did that last night. I think I got there around 9:40. So I'm currently getting a bedside ultrasound. What time is it? Almost 12, right? 11:30 on February 1st, right? I hate how they always have to mention like the worst case scenario. Saying all the time is not viable. I feel like it's not right in the time. Anything can happen. But I don't think I'm gonna do that. Yeah, I'm still gonna say that to my team. I just think they just survive. It's right there. I can do it so quickly. Like 5 seconds. Right now I want to sneak an ultrasound. My husband's telling me no. She told me that Elsie was okay, moving, we saw the heartbeat. My placenta is more towards my back, which mine and Eric's heart just dropped, like ah! Because that's where I fell really hard impact, because I'm bruising there already. But once we got to the placenta, everything looked okay, so it sounded like we really lucked out. And yeah, so now I only go back if contractions continue again and the pain worsens, or if I start bleeding, and then I go back in right away. And I have an appointment on the 5th, and that's for my blood pressure, but I'll also insert another clip. Yesterday my blood work was textbook perfect. Lately it has been, which is great. At this time and stage in pregnancy, this is when it should be the best. So right now it is. And with my son, it only showed an issue at 30 weeks plus. So I'm hoping it doesn't come any sooner than that. And I did have it in the beginning of my pregnancy, really high bordering, but then it went away and now I'm like normal, which is normal at the moment. It's more so when I'm in the 3rd trimester where it might start causing an issue. But yeah, so now I'm just on bed rest, relax, and try to take it easy for me. And me! So yeah, I'm just making breakfast. I'm gonna have eggs, garlic sausage. I'm gonna slice up an avocado. And honestly, I might be naughty again and have another coffee. Right, my pregnancy rate is like timing on, but I'm still not here. And I've been actually stressing out about my daughter. She's 9 right now. She's turning 10 in September. And she is testing everyone. She's just not listening. And honestly, she doesn't get it. Like, I can tell her, like, why do you keep doing this and not listening and not retaining everything we tell you? But you do realize every time I have to talk to you, you're stressing me out, and I'm your little sister, and she just doesn't care. And yeah, I actually took her phone away yesterday because we sent her to bed at 9 o'clock, and she was awake till midnight. And so I think I'm gonna make her like do some repeated lines like, I will not lie, I will not be a brat, I will listen. You know, she's not getting it, and there has to be some consequences. I don't know what to do. So, today is Wednesday. Wednesday, and I am 22 plus 6 today. And I thought I'd fill you in on my appointment I had yesterday. So, I'm also out of breath because it's getting harder for me to talk. So, you'll have to ignore that. And I'm just having breakfast because it is 8:10 a.m. My husband and son are still sleeping. My husband went back to bed so I could sleep in a little bit and get our daughter ready for school, and then her grandma took her. So I have the morning to myself. Well, as I'm recording, my son may pop up. But yeah, so I'm just having some mango this morning and some tea. So at my appointment, it was to see medication specialist. So they work with my OB-GYN and they work with OB-GYN, but they don't work specifically on the baby. It's all kind of just for the mother, like medications and what you need to have a healthy pregnancy and get through it and all of that. I think it's the OBIM section. I don't even know what that stands for. And I honestly didn't initially think it was going to be a long appointment, which honestly I should have known better just because of all my complications, that they were going to be very thorough when doing my history and giving me like a general checkup, because I mean, as they say, my life is at risk and the baby, and so yeah. So we just did a general, so I spoke to a nurse first, and we did the general, you know, questions and everything. And so I gave my brief history of all the stuff I have. So what happened the first pregnancy, so high blood pressure, but it wasn't pre-eclampsia. It was now called hypertension blood pressure. I had intrauterine growth restriction. Because my blood pressure was so high, I was monitored in the hospital for 5 weeks. They asked me, was my baby preterm? And I say, yes. And they're like, well, how early? And I'm like, it depends which hospital and doctor form you get. If we go based off my original due date, as some forms say, they'll say 36 weeks. If you go off the new form with the new date, because it got bumped back, it will say 35 plus 3, but it's literally a few days off. And yeah, so we did that. We did my blood pressure, which lately has been very good, textbook as they say, which my OB says, if it's the time for it to ever be stable and normal and textbook, this is the time, like in the second trimester is when you should have the best blood pressure during the pregnancy. So that's good. I wasn't worried about that. Like, I was worried as to why I had bordering and a bit higher for the bottom number over. That was concerning, like, why is it starting so early? But right now everything seems to be good with that. So after the nurse, like a trainee student, but not a trainee, but they are working under the main doctors. She came and did same thing, full background history, but then she also did a full physical check of everything. So we checked literally my everything, my bones, my ankles, my wrists, my muscles, my throat, literally a full checkup. And when they were asking me the question, I was answering it. And if you guys know, the past few weeks, in my updates, I've been saying how my stomach has been a mess, I've been nauseous, and I'm having so much pain, and all of that. And the one thing I haven't mentioned, that I was going to mention at next week's appointment, because I was waiting for it to be brought up, was all the weight I've been losing. And just with all of the problems I've been having, and also I mentioned I had flare-ups. I think I mentioned it in the update. That I honestly can't remember, but I know it's something I talked about on Instagram. If you don't follow me, it's at Raising Wild Rabbits. And yeah, so with the flare-ups, the pain in my ribs, and I had diarrhea, soft bowel movements. Since pretty much I got to Calgary, this week has been fine, so it's been around 3 weeks since it's been pretty off. I was sent to test for lupus again, and this is not my first time I've been sent to test for lupus, because my dad actually has lupus, so I've done the testing every few years. I think this might be my 3rd time testing, but throughout the years since high school, I think the first time I got tested was grade 11. Yeah. I've only gotten worse and show similar signs to my dad. I have a really bad immune system, and then my bones and my body are breaking down so fast. I'm only 24, turning 25, and my bones are really bad. I have arthritis in my back. I also got sent to see if my arthritis has spread. I guess they can test that through the blood, because right now I can't do the x-rays because I'm pregnant. So after I'm pregnant, I think I'm probably going to get sent for some x-rays to see if it's spread, because I have it in my back. But my mom has it in her wrist, as well as my grandma. So it's on both sides of my family. Yeah. So with the lupus, I have that, and so they think the rib pain, the flare-ups I had, because I was in excruciating pain. I have tattoos, I have a cleft palate, so I had many surgeries. I've been in labor, and yeah, I got the epidural, but it wasn't even for pain management. It was because, if you know my story, I was kind of over it, and yeah, so I can handle pain, and I had a jaw surgery, and all of those surgeries and everything I've never taken anything for pain, even though I've had it morphine and stuff. Never once took it when my arms and muscles were hurting. So it was my elbows all the way to my forearms were locked and tight and tense and cramped up, and it was on both my arms. Those lasted for 4 days total, and then my one leg for 2 days. So those 4 days I was in excruciating pain, plus I was having the soft bowel movements and struggling to have, full, consistent, solid ones, as well as the pain in my stomach. And I honestly thought it was, still anxiety from the move and everything, but apparently with the weight loss and all of the pain and all of that, it might coincide with a lupus flare-up, so that's why I'm being sent for that again. I'm gonna insert a picture of my form, because there were 2 other things that I was also being tested for through my blood, and I can't, I know they told me in person, but I can't remember, and based off the form, I can't even tell you what it is. Maybe you'll know. You can drop a comment down below and let me know. So yeah, the blood test was for 4 things right now. And so I see my OB-GYN next week on the 13th. I'll be 23 weeks plus a few days then. And then on the day I make my appointment with him, whether it's 3 weeks or 4 weeks, if I'm lucky, if I don't need one sooner, that's when I'm going to be rescheduling my, well, with the OBIM, whatever you want to call them, for my next update, because they said they closely really want to monitor my blood pressure, because, you know, I run the risk of, because of my numbers being so bad the first time, seizures, liver damages, and all that. So they're starting to watch me closely now from their department as well. And then I have to get a blood pressure machine, so I got a prescription for that. I have to get that way they can calibrate it and make sure it's, you know, on point, so I can start tracking it. So I got some daily logs to track it, where I'm tracking it a couple times a day per day till, you know, I guess pretty much the birth, or until I'm admitted and they're watching me. Hopefully I can avoid that. So yeah, it's been a stressful week, honestly. Like, I fell, had to go to labor and delivery, then this appointment, and like now my dad is stressed out about, you know, me having to be tested for lupus again, because I know that like killed him inside, even though it's not his fault. It's just is what it is. But yeah, me and my dad are like 2 peas in a pot. You'll never find anyone more alike than me and my dad. So alike yet so different. But yeah, that's like the update for this week, so I'm kind of stressed out about that. And yeah. And this is why people wanted me to start vlogging, honestly, because I told you, my track record and luck is just so bad. Like, I have such bad health, such bad physical health, like my pain, and I always just thought that was me being a bad athlete, not warming up, and just not taking care of myself, which, you know, probably did play a part in, like, it all, at least maybe arthritis coming sooner than it should have, who knows, but I do blame a part of that. Like, I definitely should have been warming up my muscles, icing, eating after and before games, and warming up properly, because I tore my shoulder in volleyball because I refused to warm up, and then, like, my knees were from baseball, and, you know, when you're in high school, you just don't really give a crap. But then when you get older, you start to regret all those decisions when you were young and rebellious, and yeah, I'm paying for it now. Yeah, I think that's gonna be the update for the week. That's like a lot to take in. I'm just gonna insert a clip of my belly after I eat, and that's gonna be what closes up the vlog today. And yeah, I hope you have, I hope you liked the video, you like me. I know I'm like pretty right now, and I have been, but as you can imagine, if you've been following me either my whole pregnancy so far, or if you're just joining me from this as a new subscriber, you'll know I've had a bit of a bumpy road, and it's kind of never ending. I told you, like, my track record is bad, and there's always something popping up. I can't catch a break, and something new every week, honestly. And yeah, I hope you want to join and like stay tuned for, because I do updates every week, so hopefully you'll subscribe and you want to stay watching that. And make sure to follow my Instagram, because I am very, very active on there, and those are all linked at the end. But I'll also throw it in right here too, at Raising Wild Rabbits. Make sure to show me some love. And yeah, I will see you in my next update. And here, enjoy the mom.